Hey guys, welcome back. Behind me is a BMW 2004 325i. Picked it up from a customer for $200. He had a big rock in the road, knocked a hole in the oil pan. Found an oil pan on Amazon for about a third of the price of the dealer. Slapped it on there, it runs and drives. It's kind of a hot mess. Front struts are blown out. Control arm bushings feel like they're blown out. I don't know about the rest of the suspension. Ball joints, haven't checked them. Fuel gauge doesn't work, airbag lights on, brake pad lights on, brake pulsation, shifter so sloppy I can't get into 6th gear. Gas gauge doesn't work. Today, we're gonna work on the gas gauge. Also, wipers don't park in the right position. You can see they're kind of halfway up the windshield. What else is on? There's something else. I don't know. Let's look at the fuel gauge. We'll see if we can find out what's going on. I got the launch connected. We're gonna look at the fuel level sensor, if we can read it from the launch. If not, we're gonna go back to the tank and actually do some voltage testing. This has 2 sensors in it. I'm hoping that the launch can determine which one's faulty, and hopefully only one of them is faulty and not both of them. I got the launch hooked up right now, running a full system scan. These BMWs have a lot of modules, so it's gonna take a bit. I figured I'd get a head start. We'll start with that. If we can't get any useful information from a scan tool, we might have to go straight to the sensors and check the voltage. I don't know if we have any known goods or specifications of what the ranges are, but we'll do that. Maybe we should check the scanner. I don't want to start it up while it's scanning. We'll see if the scan is done, and then we'll determine what warning indicators we have, what codes we have in there. It's a BMW, so you know we're going to have a million codes. Okay, here we go. Let's review the codes. It looks like we do have quite a bit, and we'll see if there's anything that's really important that we should look at before looking at the fuel level sensor. There's no check engine light on, which I'm surprised, but I wouldn't, you know, it's not abnormal for there to be a bunch of fault codes in there without the check engine light on. So let me show you the launch. We'll see what codes we have. We'll jump into diagnosing that fuel level gauge. I think we're in focus. Okay, I'm going to do fault report. Engine, what do we have? Fuel tank level and thermal oil level sensor. Both history codes. ABS, rotational rate signal. Airbag. Come on. Okay, we have airbag codes for both front sensors, front right, and then the driver stage 1. Have to do some research on those, find out what's going on there. Air conditioning. Now, the air conditioning, I've noticed that the heat doesn't work very good if I'm at low speeds. If the engine RPM's up and I'm driving it hard, then I have good heat. I'm guessing restricted heater core. Automatic interval control. I'm not sure if that's for the oil change. Optical initialization. No idea. And then we have light switching center. What is that? Light switching center. Not sure, a bunch of codes there for the headlights. Now it does seem like the headlights are too high, so maybe that's part of the issue. The high beams are too high. The low beams are fine, the high beams shine in the trees. And then instrument cluster, tank lever type sensor 1. So let's see if we can get into the instrument cluster, look at our level gauges, see if we have accurate data for that. Now, when I climbed in there, it said that I've gone 190 miles on a tank of gas. I don't know what these things normally go. I know I was pushing my luck not having a gas gauge, but I don't want it to be full when I pull that sensor out. So I don't know if I can click on the cluster like I can with the snap-on and go straight to it. It doesn't look like it. Yeah. So I'm gonna have to go back. Let's do manual selection, 3 Series E46, body control, instrument cluster. This does not have the 20-pin socket underneath the hood. And data stream. Let's see. Displays. Maybe general, I don't know. That's oil. Let's go back. Try onboard. There we go. We got tank sensor 1 and 2. Okay, I don't know if you can see that. It says I have 0 gallons in both sensors. So we might be out of gas. But I'm pretty sure that one of the sensors is bad. It said tank sensor number 1. I'm not sure which one that is. We'll have to pull a wiring diagram up and see if it identifies left or right. Computer didn't tell me which one is number 1 or number 2. It just says left and right in all of the descriptions. So I'm going to pop the back seat out. We're going to just go down there. We're going to check the wiring, see which one is open circuit. I'm assuming that's what the problem is. Okay, we just got to grab the front of the seat, the back seat. That side's already unclipped. Grab this side, pop those loose, and wiggle this seat kind of forward. Get around the seat belts, and see what kind of surprises we find. Yeah, it's kind of musty under here, and it's wet. I don't know if I want to know what that's from, but that would explain why it smells like a fish tank in here. Keith has always warned me that German cars are just big fish tanks. He's exactly right. I don't know what this is from. We should probably inspect our wiring, make sure we don't have any green stuff coming out of them. I don't see anything. Okay, this side has more wires than the other side, so I'm assuming this is the side with the fuel pump. It uses kind of a Venturi system to transfer fuel from one side to the other. I want to pop that loose. Okay. Lots of dust. Pretty long harness here. Let me see if we can even access what we need. I think so. Let me pull this ring off of here. Looks like 4 10mm nuts. We'll pop that out of the way, see if we can back probe that wire, find out what's going on. I mean, we could easily do it up here underneath the seat, but looking at the moisture underneath the seat, I don't want to have these get contaminated. Seeing if I can find the wire. I wrote it on my hand. Black and red and an additional color. Let's see. I got a black and red. So I'm guessing that's the level sensor. The other side has the same black and red, but it has an additional tracer stripe on it. That's the one I'm going to go for. Okay, we'll see if that little stud will give us a good ground. Suppose we can flip this over to ohms and pierce through the paint here. 0 ohms, so we got a good ground there, or hopefully good enough. Flip this over to volts. And we have 1.8 volts. Just rocking the car a little bit. I didn't really see a change. Okay, I also didn't find what the voltages should be. Perhaps I need to do a better search and find out if the voltage needs to be higher than what I have. Tell you what, I'm just going to jump to the other side. We're going to compare the voltage on the other tank, or the other side of the tank, the other sending unit, see what it compares to the side that we have access to already. Oh no. Okay, we have a rat's nest. And we have a section of wires chewed up. That could be our whole problem. This might be an Ivan fix with no parts required. I'm gonna go ahead and pop this ring off, see if we can unplug this, get a little more slack. Plus I want to clean out all that mess. I'm always afraid something's gonna jump out of there. Okay, so we have chewed up wires down here, not all the way through, but they are chewed all the way through inside this loom. We may as well just split this loom off of here so we can see this wire here. I can at least slide some heat shrink over it since it's already broken right here. We will solder those other wires back together, and hopefully we have a working fuel gauge. Okay, I'm going to use my little thread ripper. Of course, it's a Snap-on branded one. Come on, you guys think I have a generic one? Okay, I do have a generic one, but this one was in my terminal extraction kit, and I knew exactly where it was at. I'm not sure where the other one's at. Okay. There's a small little nick in the other wire. I think we'll just liquid tape that right in here. Only punctured one part of it, didn't cut any wires. This part they just chewed on the insulation. Looks like they got a few strands of wires. We'll just tuck those down, throw a piece of heat shrink over that. Voila. And then this other wire, I don't think too much is missing, so I'm just going to strip back both ends. Trim that up a little bit. Got a little bit of oxidization on there. Right on the end. Okay. I'm going to use some of my favorite connectors here. My Ram automotive product guy calls them multi-link connectors. They are heat shrink connectors with a crimp and a solder band. So all in one. Just crimp it lightly here. We don't want to puncture the heat shrink. Slide that in there like so. Crimp that one lightly. Now the dangerous bit. Now I don't see any fuel down in here. I'm gonna use a torch. If this doesn't get uploaded, then it means I blew up. Use some safety, folks. If you got wet fuel all over the place, don't use a torch. If you decide to use a torch anyways, like most of you are going to, and then complain about it later, can't say I didn't warn you. Yeah, too hot, too hot. Just gotta get a little bit of heat, That solder band just soaked in there. Soldered my wires together. Okay, good to go. Before I put it all back together, I'm going to plug that in. See if we have a fuel gauge. We do, we got a quarter tank. Great. Okay, sweet, no parts required. I was getting kind of worried that this was going to get expensive with all the little things that are wrong. I'm glad that part is taken care of. I think we'll end it here. I will make another video as soon as we get this back in the shop to do some more testing. My battery's about dead on the camera. Plus I got dinner waiting for me at home. So if you guys find something like this, you're soldering next to a gas tank, be safe. If it turns out that the voltage is incorrect on one side or the other, I'm guessing that you're going to see either 5 volts or 0 volts if you have a bad sending unit. One or the other, full extreme, and that's going to tell the computer, hey, we can't trust the sensor, we're going to drop it straight to E, so we don't have an issue. So pop both sides, check the voltage of the small wires, the brown wires, most likely the ground, the black with a red stripe, according to the diagram, was the fuel level sensor signal wire. So those are the ones you're going to want to check. Mine had a broken ground. Stay tuned for more videos. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Okay, quick bonus footage. We still may have issues. Not sure yet. I'll probably go fill it up with gas. Or maybe I'll clear codes. According to the launch, tank sensor number 1, 0 gallons. Tank sensor number 2, 2.8 gallons. So we are reading on tank sensor number 2, which means tank sensor number 1 is the one on the passenger side. That's the one with the fuel pump built in. So maybe I'll clear codes out because they had the code for tank sensor number 1. I'll clear codes. If I notice an issue and we need to revisit that pump, then I'll let you guys know. We'll do another video on that one.